Hey tubers, Bart coming at you with a mail day. Got some good stuff. A couple of things. First one, I sold a Derrick Henry Prism Rookie PSA 10 for $535 for the win. So I bought two last January, two raw ones. Subbed them. Obviously they were there forever, right? But so while they were there, I was like, I don't know what they're gonna get. I bought them cheap. Just probably something on the surface I didn't see or whatever. And I found one for, I can't remember what I paid, maybe 45, 50 bucks or something like that in a PSA 10. So I bought it because it was gonna be 8-9 months before I saw them things again, right? But the two I subbed, I got a 9 and a 10. So I sold the 9 a couple months ago for 125, and then just finally sold this 10 for 535. So that's for the win. But a couple anomalies also popped up with that. The buyer had their eBay address is their PWCC Vault account. I had never seen that before. That's interesting, but I guess, you can get it just straight to your vault if you want it sitting there, you don't want it to build up. I may have to do that someday if I ever get stationed overseas or something and I can't get myself to stop buying cards, because they're probably not going to be, shipping them overseas and just piling them up. But that was interesting. You'll never see it if you're the buyer, right? So, man, that takes the collecting out of it big time. But then somebody also chimed in when I posted that on Facebook and basically said, yeah, people do that because there's no sales tax in Oregon on that. And then once it gets to the vault, then they have PWCC ship it to them because there's no tax on that. It'd just be the shipping cost or whatever. So interesting there. That doesn't seem totally legit by doing that, but it is what it is. So this is the first time I've ever sold a card with this new eBay-ish. And no kidding, I was because I already had a couple of other bucks sitting in my PayPal from just before that conversion and not thinking. I was like, hey, just sold this card too. Let me slide over to PayPal. I like to see the balance sometimes. Just give me a little feel good because that's, all stuff that you basically, it was from selling cards, so it's, it's kind of feeding the habit in a different way. You just feel better about the money that comes from that. And I was like, where is it? And I was like, oh, shit, eBay's got this new thing. So I had to go find it in the app where it's sitting. And you can choose whether you want eBay to pay you daily or weekly, basically the next day if you sold something. And mine was already checked daily when I set it up or whatever. But they had already taken the fees out of it. So for a $535 purchase, and I had $8 shipping on it, just because I'll wrap it extra and I'll get a couple bucks insurance on it and stuff like that. The fees were $94 and change. That's 17.5%. I don't remember what the last time I specifically saw what PayPal and everything was taken, but I'm pretty sure it was eBay was always 10 or so percent, and PayPal was 2.9 or 3%. eBay's get me for 4 more percent now. Man, that hurts. With the okie doke. And then, so I don't want to go too far into that, but I will be sending something to PWCC here in the next month or so. I guess that makes their fees a lot more reasonable now if eBay's going to take that much money off of it. But then I'm also is this submission going to be outdated by the time I send it? Because they're going to have to update their fees if eBay is taking more money. So we'll see. But we'll get into some cards. I got one to save for last. But the one raw card I got for you is a George Kittle from this year's Prism Red Ice. Not centered at all, so I don't know if that was some stock photo that was in the post or not. I didn't pay too much for it, but Was going through some cards and stuff recently, and noticed that I was had a good number of gold cards and red cards of the 49ers slab, to include a good number of recent red ices and stuff from Prisms and stuff. And so it's like, oh, okay, cool. It'd be neat to have one, of every bigger player have a red ice or something similar or whatever. So I picked that up, but not centered at all. So that's not gonna work. But a great looking card. So some slabs in. Check this out. Nostalgia for the win. I've always been a sucker for starting lineup cards. I've seen some lower graded ones, but never been willing to get after them. But this one is an amazing 5, and since it's Jordan, it's like, the card encapsulated or whatever, doesn't really matter what the grade is. Looks really cool. I don't know what's going on with just that plain Bulls with nothing else. It leaves something to be desired on that jersey there, so I'm glad they updated that. But really cool card, and happy to have that. And I hope that will be, the first of several. I won't say many, but several starting lineup cards. Obviously, I got a good number of 49er ones, but I like to get some others, some non-liners. And then this is all a big old stack of 4 sharp corners. If you watched the previous video, me being a knucklehead, I had thought I had bought this card, but I didn't have it yet the last time. So basically I hit 2 4 sharp quarter orders, and when I was going through and looking at a older one, I was like, oh, I don't have that card yet, because I've had a bunch of these in the cart and not. And so while one was in the mail, I bought a second one, not knowing, because I just looked up on the wall or, and on the pile. I was like, if I'd have just bought that, it'd be sitting here somewhere. So now I have 2 of these 87 Topps PSA 9s, but did not pay too much for them anyway. So such is life. Not a terrible card to have 2 of, but someday that'll find its way into a care package or something like that. This was the bigger card that I picked up from the 4 sharp corners one. I finally was like, the 9 started creeping back down, and with the discount on the web page, got me the McGuire in a PSA 9 from 85. Good looking card, iconic, and fresh Lighthouse label. So really happy to add that to the PC, mostly for all-time home runs and stuff like that, but someday they're going to let all these cats in the Hall of Fame. I don't know when, but they've got to. They didn't ban them from baseball. They didn't prevent them from playing in all-star games and all these things. They knew what was going down. So it's part of the history now. Suck it up, baseball, and own it. But really happy to have that card. This is another card. I had this on my watch list. Every time 4 sharp listed one of these, I didn't look up the pop, but it ain't small, because I just have seen 4 sharp corners list this damn card so much, and I just click like every time, and then I see it disappear, and then I click like again. And so it was about $40 before the discount, and then it was a pretty good week for a discount whenever I bought it. So 14-15% at least. And I don't know, when I got raw 2015 Topps, I always just was like, because the stock and everything, man, it chips real bad, real fast, and so it just never caught my eye. But I have a couple of them encapsulated PSA 10s, and I've been sleeping on them all along, because the 2015s look really good in a slab. Speaking of which, another add to the AllStar Cup. I really think, if you heard my dog squealing in the background, I think the wife's trying to give it a bath or something. But I think 4 sharp messed up on this listing and listed it way too cheap. Because I'd seen some of these go in the 40s and such. I even saw, I don't know what I want to say it was like a GMA 10 or something like that for like $35. And this one was for like 20. And great looking. Got the throwback uni there for Abreu too. And while the cup is not big on a couple of these years, to include this one, Given the design, the cup is real clear and pops, so that looks nice. And then, sort of to go along with the AllStar Cup, AllStar Trophy, there's some guys that don't have those, and have rated rookies from Don Russ instead. And then some have all of them, but so I wanted to do a little side thing for them. I had them, a bunch of them raw, but I put the raw ones away because I picked up a good bit of the ones I was looking at snagging for it. So got the McGuire, just in a 9. Great looking card though. Collector's grade, as I would say for that. This one is a steal. If you don't have one of these 4 sharp corners, it'll cost you like $6. It's cheaper than you're gonna get it graded yourself, and you're probably not getting a 10 anyway. So, Randy Johnson, PSA 9, rated rookie. And they all look really nice lined up next to each other with a rated rookie logo there. Bonos, picked that up. I used to have all of his rookies in a 10. I sold them for good profit, but obviously there would be a lot more profit now than it was then. But happy to put this one back in there. And a 9 is just fine with that. And then, how are we going to do rated rookies without the kid? So got the Griffey as well in a 9. And this card in a 10 is just stupid. Yeah, the difference between a 9 and a 10 on that card is so mind-boggling. It's like, unless you are absolutely dedicated to having every one of his cards in a PSA 10, don't even bother trying to get that in a 10. But with what we got the Raffy, the Greg Maddux, and the Crime Dog up there now. The only one missing from my plans on picking up at some point is the Canseco. So we'll see. But he's with his little Caterpillar stash there. We'll see. Eventually we'll get a deal on that card, but I'm not paying top dollar for it. Canseco wasn't a big one for me back in the day. And then last but not least, why I was selling some cards and stuff like that. One of the reasons. Sometimes you just got to purge and make room for some new stuff, whatever. But I have not. It's been a good number of months since I added a football card to the Hall of Fame rookie set. I did really well in the spring. I sold a bunch of cards. Man, I sold a bunch of cards in the spring for good money. Not as much money as I could have sold them in the summer. Man, sometimes it hurts when you see what they could have gone for later. But did really well. I met my Hall of Fame rookie set goal by like July. But basically I hadn't picked up anything since then because it's been hard since then to find somebody with a reasonable auction price or a reasonable bin price. But I found somebody that had one and listed. It was reasonable. It was a reasonable price. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was just a bin at the price this was listed at. But it said, or best offer. And I offered him like 70% of what he listed it at. And he gave me a small counter. And it was a Sunday morning, and I could not stop looking at it. Well, it was 1 week ago, right? Couldn't stop. I was like, God. And I just kept, I kept looking at my watch list, waiting for it to just disappear, because for the price and everything else, I just thought it was going to disappear too fast. Even at if it was a bin, let alone an or best offer. But I wasn't getting my response back, right? And so you always get a little nervous there, like, who else is offering right now? But thankfully he countered. Not too long, but it was an hour or two of agony, because I almost wanted to just click that bin, but I saved a couple $100 on it, so that is awesome, and that maybe liquidate some Niners goodness and some other stuff, and helped pay for this in a significant way. So that was nice. So the Chuck Bednarik, super tough. The edges on this thing show all the love of a shoebox, every bit of the love of a shoebox, but damn, that color is ridiculous. And on the bright white stock, I had always noticed there was a difference, but somebody in a Facebook group, I don't remember which one it was now, but basically said that there are two distinct card stocks that 48 Leafs come on. There's a white and a gray, but nobody recognizes the differently on labels. And I'd always noticed that there was a difference, but I didn't know that that was an actual thing. Like there was a card stock, just print run, whatever. So any of them that I've purchased for this set or anything like that, I've always gone off a lot of eye appeal too, and they've all been off that white card stock. But super tough card. In a 3, this thing's like a 9.0 multiplier on the Hall of Fame rookie set. It's not real low or high pop. I forget what the population of the number is, but it's like pop 86 higher or something like that. And so for a set that gets collected a lot, the first post-war football set, you know, and then all the people from Philly and from, you know, Hall of Fame collectors and stuff like that, to get a 3 is pretty legit, and I am very happy with that. So one more 48 Leaf left with the Bobby Lane, and chipping away. I think I got 26, 27 cards to go out of, what do we got? I think it's 281 card set now for the Hall of Fame football rookies, so chipping away. But that's what I got for you. Coming up on the holidays, I don't know if I have another video between now and then, so if not, enjoy, and hope you get everything you dream for. Hope your kids get everything they dream for, because that's on you to provide, right? I just love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday by far. Just trees and lights and everything like that. And now as a parent, the kids just lighten up over, it doesn't matter, right? Just the paper and the ripping and stuff like that. It's good times. I look forward to not getting out of my pajamas on Christmas Day and just lounging around, drinking hot chocolate and stuff. It's going to be a good time. So I hope you enjoy. Happy holidays to you and yours, and later.